before the apocalypse arrived, you're faced with three choices. Which one do you pick? 1. An unlimited supply of food and drinks. 2. A golden desert eagle with infinite ammo. 3. A can of hairspray that makes you irresistibly gorgeous until it runs out. I know in advance, in 3 hours, the frozen apocalypse will hit. Human living conditions will deteriorate rapidly. The zombie virus is about to break out. Order and law will crumble piece by piece. In the apocalypse, food scarcity is the decisive issue. I choose option 1 without a second thought. Selection confirmed, host has been granted unlimited food supply. A rush of excitement surges through me. I think silently, give me a Coke, light on the ice. I'm a little thirsty. In an instant, an ice-cold Coke appears in my hand. I can barely contain my excitement. This is actually real. Perfect, the apocalypse is coming. The rules of survival are about to change. Those miserable days, I never have to endure them again. Time to live differently. Starting today, I eat beef. System, hit me with 10 more skewers. I'm chewing through beef skewers when a message from my girlfriend comes through. I passed my grad school entrance exam. There are some things I need to clear up. Let's break up. You know as well as I do, we're not in the same league anymore. You're just a worker making $3,000 a month. While I'm going to be a grad student, my future is bright. I know this is cruel, and I know you've been supporting me through these years of studying. But I gave up years of my youth too. We're even. Don't contact me again. This is where it ends. I stare at those cold, clinical words. A sharp sting hits my chest. Then it fades. I let out a cold laugh. Ha, Luna, you're going to regret this. The system chimes again. To ensure host's survival, the system will offer daily check-in rewards at midnight. Options may include weapons, supplies, physical enhancements, and more. Host may select one reward per day. For the first time, I'm actually looking forward to the apocalypse. In the old world, I was nobody. In the world that's coming, I'm going to turn everything around. With that thought, I hop on my electric scooter and head back to my rental. While waiting for the elevator, a voice dripping with contempt cuts through the air. Hey, worker, back off, you reek of sweat. I turn around. It's Sophie in her bank uniform. She's got her hand over her nose, glaring at me like I'm something she stepped in. Sophie is my neighbor. I'm in 501. She and her newlywed husband Wade are in 502. They married just a month ago. I caught a glimpse of her in a white gown that day. Honestly stunning. An easy 90 out of 100. Looks and figure combined. Far beyond the ex-girlfriend who just dumped me. Seeing her now, a slow, knowing smile creeps across my face. Sophie frowns, her patience visibly wearing thin. Keep staring and I'll gouge those eyes out. It's been a long day. The last thing I need is to be suffocated by someone like you. What rotten luck. Her husband Wade is a company executive. Together, they fancy themselves society's elite and look down on workers like me from the bottom of their hearts. The elevator arrives. I step in. Sophie clearly intends to wait for the next one. Just before the doors close, I say coolly, if you get hungry, remember to come find me tonight. The moment the doors shut, Sophie feels a shiver run through her, followed immediately by a surge of fury. Who does he think he is? Come to him for food? He must be out of his mind. Back in my room, I start rummaging through the wardrobe. The frozen apocalypse is almost here. I need to dig out the down jackets and thick blankets first. A sharp, insistent knock hits the door. Sophie's voice comes from outside. Hey worker, explain yourself. What did that mean just now? Get out here, don't hide in there saying nothing. I know you're home. Hearing the commotion, her husband Wade opens the door. Sophie, what's going on? Why are you banging on that worker's door? Honey, this lowlife had the nerve to hit on me. I want him driven out of this building. So the punk's asking for it? Don't worry, babe. I'll make sure he... Wade doesn't finish the sentence. He looks up, locks eyes with my cold, hard stare, and his bravado deflates on the spot. He's soft-looking. I've done physical labor for years. Solid all over. If it came to blows, the outcome would be obvious. Wade switches gears instantly, flashing a nervous smile. Haha, you're back? Long day of work, I bet. Get some rest. What are you backing down for? Did you not see the way he just looked at me? Are you actually scared of him? Honey, you've got it wrong. I'm not scared. We're society's elite, happy and successful. People at his level will always be jealous of us. Remember the fortunate person's retreat principle. We're the ones who have it good. In situations like this, it's best to just take a step back. I pulled out every thick blanket I own. I sealed the doors and windows and quietly wait for the apocalypse to arrive. That night, a sliver of icy wind sneaks into what was once sweltering air. The sky begins to release heavy flakes. Then the snow goes berserk, pouring down like a flood. In just 30 minutes, the temperature plunges from 30 degrees to 0, and it keeps falling. At the same time, a spark of delight ignites in my chest. Midnight. Today's daily check 2 in rewards are as follows. 1. 10,000 thermal suits made from special materials, capable of withstanding -100 degrees. 2. A wireless battery pack compatible with all electronic devices. 3. A 10,000 terabyte flash drive containing every film, show, and video you could ever want. 4. A cantaloupe so sweet it could give you diabetes on the spot. After a moment's thought, I pick option 1. The temperature is dropping too fast. Staying warm is the top priority. Seriously though, is the system trying to be funny? 2 days in a row, and the last option is always a joke? The moment my selection is confirmed, I focus my mind, and a black thermal suit materializes in my hands. The fabric is something else, as soft and breathable as pure cotton, with the silkiness of cashmere. I pull it on and my eyes light up. It doesn't just block the cold, it actively generates heat. Even my face, hands, and feet, fully exposed, feel nothing of the cold. It feels almost like a spring day. With food and warmth both secured, I settle by the window and watch the snowfall paint the city silver. Suddenly, a scream erupts from below. I rush to the window and peer down, and freeze. A young man's face is split open with a crack, and every patch of exposed skin on his body is covered in the same fractures. The crowd around him scatters in a panic. Less than 30 seconds later, the man's eyes go wide, and he hits the ground, motionless, stone dead, and he's not the only one. Within minutes, more and more people find the same cracks spreading across their skin. The whole complex erupts into chaos. I narrow my eyes, studying the victims carefully. Every single one of them had been playing in the snow. Could the snow be toxic? Cracks appear within 5 minutes of contact, and death follows in under 30 seconds. The question is, can the toxin spread from person to person? I let out a slow, sharp breath. Brutal. In just this short window of time, over a dozen people below are already gone. I open my phone. Terms like toxic snow are already dominating the trending searches. The building group chat has exploded. Is anyone there? Someone save the children. What is happening to this world? This is just temporary. I know we'll be rescued. Does anyone have water or food? I'll pay top price. The smart ones can already sense it. This isn't a disaster that's going to just blow over. The snow has been falling for only an hour and it's already half a meter deep, with no sign of letting up. I check the doors and windows, making sure no snow can drift inside, then lie down with an easy mind. The next morning at 8 o'clock, I wake up right on time. I walk to the window and look out, and can't help but stare. The bodies from last night are completely buried. The drifts have risen above the first floor. The temperature has dropped to -30. The one small mercy, the snow has paused for now. No telling when the next wave will hit. I check the utilities inside. No surprises there. Water, electricity, and gas are all out. The cold alone is terrifying enough. Now there's no power on top of it. In this kind of cold, all people can do is bundle up in down jackets and tough it out. How many will actually make it? A lot of people are probably going to freeze to death today. I'm completely unfazed. I'm inside eating hot pot, sipping hot tea, casually scrolling through the building group chat. After a night of torment, a lot of voices in the chat have gone silent. Poisoned, frozen, hard to say. Only a few scattered distress messages remain and no one is answering them. I spend the entire day indoors. Midnight rolls around again. Time for the next check-in. Today's options: 1. A golden desert eagle with infinite ammo. 2. Power level increased by 5. 3. A reclining sled that glides across ice and snow with 0 resistance. 4. A carbonated drink that makes you burp without end. The fourth option continues to be absolutely ridiculous. I'd love that golden desert eagle, but I go with option 2. Based on these options, it seems rewards can reappear in future check-ins. No rush then, I can wait and pick it when it shows up again. As for the power level upgrade, that sounds properly sci-fi. The moment the selection is confirmed, a surge of raw power floods through my body. I throw a punch at the solid wood dining table. The corner explodes into splinters. I'm satisfied. The upgrade covers everything: strength, precision, every aspect of combat. And that punch? My hand doesn't even hurt. 3 more days pass. I still haven't gone outside. The snow outside falls and stops in waves. The drifts are nearly reaching my window now. And finally, the golden desert eagle shows up in my check-in again, along with a passive skill that makes every single shot a perfect hit. For the third reward, I go with the constant heat stove. It's shaped like a lotus flower, small enough to fit in your palm, glowing with a faint blue light. No charging, no fuel. It runs on its own endless energy. Place it indoors and it holds the temperature at 26 degrees within a 3-meter radius. The catch: walls block the effect. But when you have 10,000 of them, a few scattered around the room does the trick perfectly. I can't help but feel a little speechless. Does this thing kind of make my thermal suit pointless? On the bright side, I can finally take a bath at home. The unlimited food supply I picked on day 1 already included hot water, so that's covered. My phone still has a sliver of battery. I see someone in the building chat suggesting people head to the underground parking lot to trade supplies. Actually, a smart idea. The parking lot connects to the outside, but all the entrances are buried under snow. Every building can access it through the emergency stairwells. Sitting inside eating all day is getting dull. I decide to head down and take a look. The underground parking lot is packed. I do a rough count. The whole complex has 15 buildings and over 3,700 residents. Only about 600 have come down here, which means in just 5 days, the complex is lost. Though that's not quite the whole picture. The snow started in the dead of night, so most people never touched it. A lot of families probably still have stockpiles at home and don't need to come trade just yet. Phones for bottled water, cigarettes for instant noodles, a chicken leg for fever medicine. Most people are bartering for food and water. A few are desperately trying to get medicine for sick relatives. The sudden temperature drop has put a lot of people down with colds. Most of the bottled water is frozen solid, but it melts enough to drink if you wait. That's when I spot Wade and Sophie. Laid out in front of them, gold and silver jewelry. It looks like Sophie has pulled out her own wedding jewelry just to survive. But it's been days into the apocalypse, and everyone here already knows that gold and silver mean absolutely nothing now. In the old world, money could get you anywhere. In this world, no one gives them a second glance, money or not. Sophie looks up and sees me watching her, grinning. The words I said in the elevator flash through her mind. If you get hungry, remember to come find me tonight. Did he know the snow was coming all along? I don't go over. I keep wandering around. Then I spot a woman, looks and figure every bit as good as Sophie's, and my eyes light up. She's huddled alone in a corner with nothing in front of her but designer bags and makeup, just like Sophie's jewelry, completely ignored. I watch her while listening in on conversations around me, piecing together a few useful pieces of information. First, the toxin in the snow only spreads through direct skin contact. It does not travel through the air. That's a relief. Otherwise, who would dare crack a window? Second, someone desperate enough to try found out that, as long as your skin never directly touches the snow, you can move through shallower drifts. The problem is the snow in the complex is already over 3 meters deep. No one can walk out to search for supplies. Some people are talking about rigging up vehicles with whatever tools they have at home, hoping to drive their way out somehow. I think that's delusional. With snow this deep, even an excavator would struggle, let alone a regular car. It shows just how desperate people are getting for supplies. The third piece of information gives me pause. Every person killed by the toxin has pupils that have turned gray-white, and every single body is frozen in a grotesquely twisted position. Horrifying to look at. What if all these corpses end up turning into zombies? The more I think about it, the more likely it seems. Once the weather warms up, these frozen bodies thaw out and there's a real chance they come back. Looks like anytime a power level upgrade shows up in future check-ins, I should just take it. The stronger I am, the better my odds of survival. Just then a woman sidles up beside me and murmurs, "Hey handsome, these are all high-end designer bags. Real money spent. Can I trade them for some food? These are worthless now. You got anything actually useful?" Julia's expression stiffens. She knows it. Designer bags are worth absolutely nothing right now. Everyone is bundled up and starving. Who has time to think about fashion? She lives alone. No one to fall back on. In a world this ruthless, the only thing she has left to offer may be herself, but she's not ready to go there yet. What about this? Julia hesitates for a moment, then pulls a black plastic bag out of her pocket. I take it and feel the weight immediately. I open it to find rows of portable chargers, neatly packed in every size. Calls me handsome to my face, but in her head, I'm just a charging station. All fully charged, ready to use any time. Take them back. I toss the bag back to her. I was going to turn her away outright, but I decide to play the long game instead. So I reach into my pocket and pull out a bread roll, give it a slow wave in front of her face. "You want food? Come to my place." I hold her gaze for a beat, then turn and walk away. Julia bites her lip, torn. In another life, she wouldn't have given someone like him a second look, and yet here she is, being told to come to him. It makes her furious. But what choice does she have? He has food. I keep strolling, searching for my next mark. Less than 2 minutes later, 3 large men burst out of Building 7's stairwell, each swinging a cleaver. The one leading the charge is Drake, a thick slab of muscle, mean written all over his face. "Move it, boys! Hit them!" He charges the nearest stall himself. The vendor is a woman in her 70s, with a single can of elderly formula on her mat. Drake snatches it in one grab. "Give it back! That's mine!" The old woman clutches Drake's arm, desperate to reclaim what's hers. It was the only thing she had to trade for food. A cold gleam flashes in Drake's eyes. He raises the cleaver and brings it down. The old woman crumples without a sound. "He killed her!" Someone screams. "He killed her!" The crowd detonates into chaos, scattering in every direction. I'm not worried. I've picked up physical enhancement from past check-ins. These 3 are nothing to me, but I don't feel like getting involved. I let the panicking crowd carry me slowly back toward home. After all these days, order is finally beginning to collapse. When survival is at stake, kindness and humanity vanish. Today is where the chaos truly begins. "What are you standing around for? Keep going!" Drake bellows, and his 2 men find their nerve, swinging their blades and grabbing everything in reach. Julia takes one look and bolts for home, not stopping to grab her designer bags off the ground, and not noticing that her ID card has fallen out of her pocket. Wade grabs Sophie's hand and runs, but 2 people who've never had to fight for anything get knocked down fast. "Honey! Honey!" Sophie's legs have gone to jelly. She can't get up. "Get up!" Wade tries to pull her to her feet, but he's too starved to have any strength left. He sees Drake charging toward them, cleaver raised, and Wade shouts, "Wait here, babe, I'll go find someone to help." He drops her hand and runs, doesn't look back once. Sophie is frozen in disbelief. She never, not in 1,000 years, imagined her new husband would abandon her like this. As Drake closes in, she breaks down in tears. I walk over and pull her to her feet. She's one of my targets. Can't let her disappear just yet. She feels the strength in my grip. Sophie looks up, sees it's me, and something stirs in her chest. Across the lot, Drake and his men keep going until everyone has fled. Only then do they stop. The 2 henchmen sweep through what's left, scooping up a solid haul of food. The plan was simple: charge in without warning, people panic and run, leaving everything behind, and it all goes to them. This is human nature in the apocalypse. Everyone fears getting hurt. Not one person fought back. 3 men just terrorized hundreds. Drake does the math. What they grab will last a few days. After that, it gets complicated. These people probably won't dare come back down. The only way to get more food after that is to break into rooms. Just then, one of his men jogs over holding an ID card. "Boss, look what I found." "Oh? And a pretty one at that. ID photos don't lie. Her name's Julia. Just don't know which unit she's in." "No rush, let's get the food back first." After getting Sophie back, I block the stairwell door, then head back to my unit, Building 5, Room 501. Sophie doesn't find her footing until she sees her own front door. She wrenches free of my arm and hammers on it. "Wade, open the door. Call yourself a man? You ran and left your wife behind. And now you have the nerve to lock the door? Her voice is raw, on the edge of breaking. I smile to myself, open my own door, and lean against the frame to enjoy the show. Wade, trembling inside, hears the racket and creeps to the peephole, and only when he confirms it's just us two, does he work up the nerve to open up. Sophie, you're okay, get inside, those guys might come back. What kind of man are you, Wade? What happened to your vows? The moment danger comes, you drop me and run. I must have been blind to marry you. Noticing me watching, Wade's face darkens. Sophie, listen to me. I wasn't scared, I was going to find someone to help, but no one would. There was nothing I could do. So I came back to grab something to fight with. I was coming to save you. You have to believe me. Then why did you lock the door? Wade has no answer for that. Sophie keeps going. We have nothing left to eat or drink at home. I lost my gold bracelet back there too. What are we supposed to do now? I'm still so young. Am I going to starve to death with you? The more she speaks, the more hopeless it sounds. She breaks into sobs. Sophie has never felt more helpless in her life. Wade is just as lost. For all his talk of being a social elite pulling in hundreds of thousands a year, he's completely useless in the face of this. Suddenly Wade's eyes drift to me, still watching, and something clicks. Why does this guy look so well fed? Not even a hint of hunger on his face. Hey man, you got food at your place? Yeah, plenty of it. That's great, could you share some with us? Of course not. I pull a can of Coke from my pocket, crack it open, take a long sip, and let out a satisfied burp. Even in the dead of winter, ice-cold Coke hits just right. Wade and Sophie look ready to pop a vein. Looking at them, I find it genuinely funny. You couldn't be bothered to acknowledge me before the apocalypse, and now I'm out of your league. Wade squeezes out a flattering smile. We're neighbors after all. Neighbors are closer than distant relatives. Share a little with us, and once this is over, I'll get you into my company. 6,000 a month. No, 8,000. That actually makes me laugh out loud. This man still hasn't grasped what reality looks like now. I produce a piece of fried chicken, take a bite. Nothing tops off a Coke like fried chicken. The two of them stand frozen, eyes locked on the chicken in my hand. Sophie tries. What if we buy it? We'll pay. Do you have any idea what it's like out there right now? Then what's it going to take for you to give us something to eat? My gaze shifts slowly and lands on Sophie. Here's the deal. My place is a mess. I need someone to take care of it. I'm willing to hire you as my maid, 8 in the morning to 8 at night, managing my daily needs. As for payment, 3 meals a day, plus 1 bread roll and 1 bottle of water to take home each day. How's that? You've got some nerve. Why would I clean your house? I'm a member of society's elite. You're a delivery worker. You want me to be your maid? Are you joking? Absolutely not. What if I help out too? Both of us clean for you. Guaranteed spotless. Other men aren't welcome in my home. Suit yourself then. I close the door. I've got food, drinks, and warmth. I can afford to wait as long as it takes. That evening, I get a craving for hot pot. I set one up. Beef, lamb, crawfish, the works. Next door in 502, Wade and Sophie sit in dead silence. Everything edible in their home is long gone. They're too hungry to sleep. What? Is that hot pot I'm smelling? Am I so hungry I'm hallucinating? They look at each other, stomachs already touching their backbones, and the aroma hits them like a gut punch. It's unbearable. Wade quietly opens the door, confirms the smell is definitely coming from my unit, and his mind starts working. Honey, maybe you should just go help him out. Wade, do you hear what you're saying? You abandoned me to save yourself this afternoon, and now you want me to walk into another man's home alone at night? Sophie, calm down. You're just helping with the cleaning. If he tries anything, you shout, and I'll come rushing in to save you the second I hear it. Sophie no longer has the energy to argue. The chill in her heart is colder than the air around her. She thinks back. He had status, manners, warmth. Everyone around them called him a perfect husband. But when disaster truly arrived, she finally saw who Wade really is. A coward. Heartless. Willing to sacrifice his wife for a mouthful of food. And he always has to wrap it in a layer of self-righteous excuses. Seeing Sophie's expression, Wade scrambles to explain. Sophie, that's not what I meant. Trust me. Remember what I said? The fortunate person's retreat principle? We're the lucky ones. All we have to do is take one small step back. One step back? You're sending your own wife out the door? Is that your step back? Drop the act, you're a coward. If you had any backbone at all, you'd go out there and grab some food instead of standing here lecturing me. That's not it, honey. Just let me explain. No need. I'm going to him. Wade reaches out to stop her, then lets his hand fall. Sophie sees that he has no real intention of stopping her. Her heart goes completely cold. I'm inside tearing through slices of meat, washing it down with ice-cold beer. A knock at the door. I check the peephole. Sophie. A quiet, unreadable smile crosses my face. I open the door. I'm here to be your maid. The rich scent of hot pot rushes out to meet her, and slowly it coaxes her frozen heart back to life. Maybe following this man is actually a way out. At the very least, she'll survive. But how strange. It's freezing outside, and he's barely dressed. Doesn't he feel the cold? I glance at Sophie, then cut a look at Wade standing behind her, face a knot of conflict, and toss him a bread roll and a bottle of water. Wade catches them with a look of stunned delight, and without a moment's hesitation tears them open and devours them on the spot. Come on in. Sophie's eyes land on the steaming hot pot in the living room, and she can't hold out any longer. She steps inside. Sophie, don't worry. If anything happens, just call out. The door shuts in his face. Wade's words cut off mid-sentence. The moment Sophie steps inside, she freezes. It feels like walking from the middle of winter straight into summer. How is it this warm in here? The power has been out for days. I haven't eaten in 2 days. Can I eat something first? I give a cool smile. Forgotten your place already? Call me master. Sophie's temper flares. She's about to snap, but a sharp cramp twists through her stomach. She thinks of Wade grabbing that bread and not offering her a single bite, and her eyes go red again. She's an elite, and now she has to call someone like him master? But what choice does she have? Master. I nod and toss her a sheet of paper. That's the maid code. Follow it. Sophie picks it up, puzzled. Then her eyes go wide. The maid code reads, Rule 1. The maid must wear the designated maid uniform at all times while on duty. Violations result in a 1-day suspension. Rule 2. The master's word is law. Talking back results in immediate dismissal. Rule 3. The maid must greet the master upon his return with a formal bow. Violations result in a 1-day suspension. This is outrageous. This is an insult. I'm going back. I watch her with cold, steady eyes and draw the golden desert eagle, leveling the barrel at her back. Anyone who won't cooperate is a liability, sooner or later. No need to keep them around. Sophie reaches the door. Her hand stops. Beyond the door, outside the reach of the constant heat stove, the bone-cutting cold rushes back in. She gives in. She doesn't want to go back to that cold, dark apartment. She doesn't want to face her useless husband. She doesn't want to starve. Sophie finally convinces herself, drops to her knees and says, Master, I was wrong. Since you've decided to stay, follow the rules properly. Seeing as it's your first offense, I'll let it go this time. Just you wait, kid, give me one opening, and you'll know exactly what I'm capable of. An hour later, I'm completely full and satisfied. I run hot water in the bathroom and let Sophie go clean up on her own. Back in the living room, I can't help but sigh contentedly. Now this is the life. True to her reputation as the finest in Building 5, Sophie is a gentle presence. Nothing like Luna, who used to look at me with contempt and kick me to the curb. Sophie, replaying everything that just happened, feels the tears threatening again. But she quietly makes her way to the table and finishes every last bit of the hot pot I left behind. That long-lost feeling of being full finally returns. And with it, most of her resistance melts away. She follows the maid code to the letter, tidies the entire room, and then curls up on the sofa and falls asleep. She's made up her mind. Food, warmth, comfort. This place is practically paradise. As for dignity, survival trumps everything. Staying alive is all that matters. The one thing she can't figure out, where on earth is he hiding all this food? The kitchen and fridge are both empty. Is it in the bedroom? But she doesn't dare set foot in my bedroom. It's too comfortable here to risk ruining it. At 12:10, the reward arrives. Today's daily check-in options are 1. A nuclear-powered generator providing unlimited energy. 2. Combat made function unlocked. 3. 1,000 high-explosive grenades. 4. A pair of socks that never smell. The grenades are tempting, but in the current situation, one handgun is more than enough. Grenades would be overkill right now. I'll grab them when they show up again. Combat made? What does that mean? Curiosity gets the better of me. I go with option 2. The moment the selection is confirmed, a new tab appears on the system panel. I tap it. Sophie's information is displayed clearly. Name, Sophie. System rating, 82. Current level, 1. Maid set confirmed. I stroke my chin. Everything else makes sense. But what exactly is a maid set? It's definitely not something I sewed together. Has to be a system item. The way to level up a maid is pretty interesting. You accumulate maid experience points and level up once they're full. A maid's maximum level is capped at half the host's level, which means Sophie can go up to level 3 at most right now. The 5-level power boost I got from the system has already pushed every physical attribute to a new high. As for leveling Sophie up, I'm very confident about that. That night, Wade tosses and turns, unable to sleep. The sounds drifting through the wall replay over and over in his mind. He wants to rage, but doesn't dare. After all, he was the one who pushed his wife out the door. At 8 the next morning, Wade shows up at my door with dark circles under his eyes. Unable to stop himself from knocking, I open it, still half asleep. I just wanted to check. How is Sophie? She's been here all night. Shouldn't she be coming home? Wade catches one glimpse of his wife in the living room, dressed in a maid uniform, and jealousy and fury nearly explode out of him. He holds it in. I slap my forehead. Where are my manners? She's incredibly capable. Got the whole place spotless. Very impressed. I turn to Sophie. You've been at it all night. You must be exhausted. Go home and rest. The kitchen and bathroom aren't done yet. I'm not going back today. It's cold out here, honey. You should head home. I smile to myself, very pleased with her answer. Wade is absolutely seething. He fixes Sophie with a furious glare, nearly losing it, but before he can say anything, I toss him a bread roll and a bottle of water. That's your share for today. Thank you. Since the cleaning isn't done, Sophie should keep at it. I'll leave you two to it. See that? Your husband didn't come here for you. He came for the food. Sophie feels a pang, but not as sharp as she would have expected. It seems she's already starting to grow accustomed to being here. Wade returns to his apartment, eyes burning with cold fury. The way Sophie acted just now, it's infuriating. Bet she wanted to go over there all along. I need to find a way to get my hands on all his food. Down in Building 5's emergency stairwell, a number of survivors from the building have gathered. Wade looks around and feels a chill run through him. The entire building has fewer than 100 survivors left. The rest have frozen to death, starved, or been killed by the toxin. Everyone, the situation is critical. I believe we need to unite. Yesterday, the whole complex gathered in the parking lot to trade, and Drake's crew robbed everyone. Now nobody dares go back down there, and things are only going to get harder. So I propose that the surviving households form an alliance. share resources, protect mutual interests, and face this crisis together. Enough with the big talk, everyone's starving. How exactly do you share resources when there aren't any? The first thing we need to do is form a patrol team. One able-bodied person from each household. Starting from room 101 on the first floor, we go door to door. Any unit with no survivors, we take everything. Drake's crew has already killed people. We can't just sit here and wait to die. The parking lot security door won't hold them forever. We move together as a group. Even if we run into Drake, there's no reason to be afraid. There are 3 people. We're well over 10. Should we really be scared? And how do we divide what we find? Everyone who joins the patrol team splits the supplies equally. But I don't have any able-bodied people in my household. My husband probably died from the toxin outside. It's just me and my daughter now. I agree. This doesn't seem fair. My wife and I are both in our 60s. We can barely move around. What happens to us? Whatever you collect, please share some with everyone. Elderly households first. A cruel glint flashes in Wade's eyes. Useless old woman thinks she can eat for free? Before he can even finish the thought, a middle-aged man cuts in. Who cares about you? We go with Wade's plan. You work, you eat. If you want to survive, fall in line. Do well enough and maybe I'll toss you something. If you're not willing to contribute, that's on you. Wade nods inwardly in approval. But the moment those words land, the stairwell erupts, accusations flying from every direction. The middle-aged man's face goes dark. Without warning, he grabs the loudest woman by the head and slams it into the wall. Once, twice, blood spattering with each impact. Days of crushing survival pressure erupt into raw violence. His face twists into something inhuman as he beats the woman to death. Everyone present is frozen in horror. A dozen men exchange glances, as if some invisible chain has snapped. Pandora's box has been thrown wide open. Brothers, get control of everyone. Keep the useful ones. Anyone who doesn't cooperate gets thrown out. Don't let them slow us down. Wade is stunned. How did things spiral this far? His plan was to build the patrol team, then use it as leverage to pressure me into handing over food and get his wife back in the process. He had badly underestimated how ugly people could get. In his cowardly fashion, he panics and scrambles back to his room, tripping over himself to get there. Master, it sounds like something's happening outside. What's going on? Don't worry about it. Focus on doing what you're supposed to do. Everything else is none of your concern. The purge of Building 5 had begun, but this wasn't just one man's doing. It was the spark that lit the fuse for men across the entire complex. In every other building, men began banding together, going door to door in search of food. The whole complex descended into chaos. In room 403 of Building 3 lived Julia, a solo streamer who lived alone. She'd always had a habit of stockpiling snacks, so she had more supplies than most. It had kept her going longer than her neighbors. But now, Julia's time was almost up. Building 3 had its own squad, more than 20 men, going door to door. The outcome was never in question. Through her peephole, Julia watches the door to 401 get pried open. Her neighbor's screams send a tremor through her whole body. Julia knows she's far more attractive than the woman in that room, which means if these men find her, her fate will be far worse. Then it hits her. The man she met in the parking lot yesterday. He said he was in Building 5, room 501. She has to find a way to reach him. The chaos outside is closing in. Her door is next. Julia dashes to the balcony. Lucky, no snow today. She carefully clears the snow from the window frame, shoves it open, and leans out. Building 3 and Building 5 aren't far apart, just over 20 meters between them, and from her window she can see my balcony directly. Without thinking, she grabs whatever bottles and jars she can find and hurls them out, trying to hit my window and get my attention. But she's not strong enough, and her aim is terrible. She throws again and again, and misses every time. The panic rises. Finally, a bottle of skincare lotion connects squarely with the glass. It doesn't shatter, but the impact rings out loud and clear. I'm in the middle of going over the finer points of the maid code with Sophie when I catch the sound. I step out to the balcony. I look out with a frown, and spot Julia waving frantically. Come save me, they're breaking in. Did I just hear a woman's voice? One of the men in 401 straightens up puzzled. On the sofa, a powerfully built man with a cigarette clenched between his teeth turns his heavy gaze toward the hallway. Boss, sounds like it's coming from this floor. The man's name is Leo, the undisputed leader of Building 3. Sounds coming from 403, there's a woman in there. Leo waves his hand and leads the group to 403. The knock comes almost immediately. Julia's fear spikes. She calls out to me in desperation, "They're here, please!" I cross my arms, utterly unbothered, and give a faint smile. Save you? Do you know what that's going to cost you? Julia goes still. Her eyes are already going red. If you save me, I'll be your girlfriend. Anything. I don't need a girlfriend. Julia is speechless. At that moment, Sophie, dressed in her custom-made uniform, slowly moves to stand beside me. The sight completely stops Julia cold. She stares at what Sophie is wearing, baffled. Isn't she freezing? Is she superhuman? I look at Julia. I can save you. Same terms as her. At that moment, the door is pried open. Leo charges in with his men, and spots Julia right away, leaning out the balcony in desperation. Stay back. Relax. I'll make sure they take good care of you. I agree. I'll do whatever you want. Just like her, I'll do it. Following this man, she'd only have to deal with one person. If she fell into the hands of these men, there was no telling how many she'd have to face. Leo frowns, striding toward Julia. Who are you calling out to? His hand hasn't even reached her when he looks up in alarm. A young man in the building across has climbed onto the window ledge, poised to jump. The next second, boom! I launch myself off the ledge, cut across the open air between the two buildings, and slam straight onto the balcony of 403. Leo's jaw drops. Then a size 10 foot connects squarely with his face. The sheer force sends him flying, and he crashes into the men behind him, taking several down with him. I land clean, and I'm actually a little surprised myself. Level 6, and I'm already this strong? I just had a gut feeling I could make that jump. And somehow I actually did. The system never disappoints. That was over 20 meters. I'm practically flying. Julia's mind has completely shut down. She stares at me, dazed. How did you even get over here? Leo hauls himself up, looking at me with something close to fear. But then he counts his men, 20 plus, all armed with blades, and his confidence creeps back. Kid, playing the hero? Take a look at how many of us there are. Get on your knees and give up. At his signal, the men draw their cleavers and kitchen knives ready to charge. Perfect timing. Let's see just how strong I really am. I lick the corner of my mouth with a savage grin, pocket the gun, and drive my fist into the nearest man. Leo's mouth falls open. This isn't a person. The destructive power is completely off the charts. Julia's eyes roll back. She passes out cold. Even I stare at my fist for a moment, a little stunned. Then I pick up the cleaver that clattered to the floor and give them all a cold smile. Delivery's here, gentlemen. Time to send you on your way. My voice lands like a whisper from the devil himself. Someone screams, and the whole crew collapses, surging toward the door in a stampede. Leo is the first one out, but 20 plus people all cramming through one door at the same time? Not exactly a clean exit. The chaos is total. I don't concern myself with the details. Only about half make it out. I step out of 403 into an empty hallway and toss the battered cleaver aside. The door to 401 is wide open. A woman barely clinging to life drags herself to the doorway and struggles to call out to me. I glance over. She looks to be in her 30s or 40s, but she's already at death's door. This is probably her final moment of clarity. Please, my daughter. She looks up at me, a flicker of desperate hope in her eyes. Not interested. I turn to go. The light in her eyes dies quickly. She lifts her head and lets it fall hard against the floor. Life is draining out of her, but the words she forces out stop me in my tracks. Jiangcheng Institute of Technology. She doesn't finish the sentence. She's gone. Jiangcheng Institute of Technology? I narrow my eyes. Now that has my attention, because my ex-girlfriend Lily was at that school. I look at the woman's body for a moment, let out a slow breath, and step inside her apartment. Her husband is already dead in a pool of blood, eyes wide open. I quickly find a family photo, the three of them together. My eyes light up. The daughter is stunning, radiating youth, with two small dimples when she smiles. Campus beauty material, easily. I also learn her name, Chloe, 19 years old, a second-year student in the media school at Jiangcheng Institute of Technology. Good. Once I can get out of here, I'll head to Jiangcheng Institute of Technology. Let's hope she's still alive. And Lily, you'd better be alive too. I pocket Chloe's photo, head back to 403, and shake Julia awake. Julia's eyes flutter open, and the first thing she sees is me, covered in blood, standing in what looks like a scene straight out of hell. Don't scream, too noisy. That snaps Julia fully awake. She stares at me with wide, fearful eyes, trembling head to toe. Come on, we're going back. I get up and head for the door. Julia takes in the room full of bodies and feels sick, her legs going weak beneath her. But I'm already out the door, and the fear of being left behind gets her moving, crawling on all fours if she has to. She can't stay here. She has to follow me. This time I don't jump. I take the stairs like a normal person, planning to cut through the underground parking lot. Out in the hallway, Julia spots the woman from 401, and a wave of cold sorrow washes through her. In the apocalypse, women have only two fates: either find a powerful man to stand behind, or be broken by a group of them. There is no third option. With that thought, Julia feels a surge of relief that she chose to follow me. Without me, her end would have been far worse than this woman's. Something clicks into place inside her. Strength returns to her legs, and she quickens her pace to keep up. We've barely stepped into the underground parking lot when we hear voices. These people are smarter than I thought. Every building has its own crew now. Not a single hall to show for it. Drake rubs the bruise on his forehead, looking absolutely miserable. He'd gone to another building with his two men and walked straight into a counterattack from more than 10 people. Barely made it out. He never imagined that his own actions, being the first to kill and steal, were exactly what inspired everyone else to follow suit, creating the very situation that now has him cornered. Boss, what do we do now? How should I know? He genuinely has no answer. Building 7, his own building, is showing signs of organizing too, which means the three of them are now sitting targets. Zane is about to say something when he suddenly hears footsteps and spins around. Who's there? Just passing through. I'd already spotted them. I say it calmly. Julia recognizes them instantly and ducks behind me, desperate not to be seen. Just passing through. Everyone in this complex knows who we are. You've got some nerve, kid. Boss, it's the woman from the ID card. It's actually her. Ha, what are the odds? We've been hunting for food all day and we stumble into a beauty like this. Not a bad day after all. With that, the three of them close in. Julia presses herself further behind me, terrified. Don't hide from me, sweetheart. Drake reaches for Julia's face, acting as though I'm not even standing there. I slap his hand away without a change in expression. You blind? There's a man standing right here. Drake recoils from the sting and finally takes a good look at me. I'm tall and well-built, but the three of them don't see that as a problem. Zane notices the blood on my clothes, frowns slightly. Something feels off, but he says nothing. They've killed people themselves. Of course others can too. Kid, I'm in a generous mood today. Don't feel like killing anyone. Be smart about this. Hand over the girl, and I'll let you walk. I'm in a hurry. If you insist on dying, don't say I didn't warn you. And then I move. 3 sharp cracks ring out in quick succession. It takes Drake and his men a full second to register the pain. Then all 3 drop to their knees, hands between their legs, drenched in cold sweat. You dirty? That's not fair. That hurts like hell. Am I broken? Julia's eyes are practically sparkling. He really is incredible. I turn to look at her, and casually pull the golden desert eagle from my pocket, holding it out. Go ahead, finish them. Julia freezes. Wringing a chicken's neck, maybe. But 3 living people? Is he serious? Hurry up. If you want to be my maid, you need to be able to kill. I don't keep dead weight. I press the gun firmly into her hand. The golden desert eagle is heavier than she expected. The cold metal against her palm makes one thing instantly clear. This is not a toy. It's a real gun. Aim at your target, index finger on the trigger. I walk her through it patiently. Julia looks deeply reluctant, but she meets my sharp gaze and says nothing. Drake sees the gun pointed at him and assumes it's a toy and can't help sneering. Who do you think you're scaring? I didn't grow up afraid of anything. Remember your face now. Go ahead and pull the trigger if you've got what it takes. Otherwise, I will make you regret this. Julia startles, and the fear suddenly drains out of her, replaced by a surge of white-hot fury. I murmur in her ear, he's garbage, pull the trigger. Julia clenches her jaw so hard her lip nearly bleeds. She's furious, but when it actually comes to pulling the trigger on a living person, she hesitates. Ha! Go on then. Can't do it, can you? Don't be scared, I've got a gun too. I'll show you how it's really done. Heh. Then, Julia's finger moves. She pulls the trigger. The gunshot thunders through the parking lot. Drake's head explodes on the spot. Zane and the other man are scared out of their minds. They forget the pain entirely and scramble to escape on all fours. Julia stares at the body in front of her, hands shaking uncontrollably. Then she thinks of the woman in 401, a woman with no power to fight back, tortured to death by a group of men. The man standing before her has given her the power to resist. She has to learn to wield it, fast. Otherwise her end will be no different from that woman's. Julia's mind shifts fast. She goes after Zane immediately, raises the gun, and fires. Zane is crawling desperately for his life. The shot catches him in the thigh. He collapses in agony. Don't kill me! Julia fires again. Zane goes completely still. That's enough, he's dead. I nod in approval and take the gun back. As reality sinks back in, Julia slowly begins to accept what she's just done. The churning in her stomach becomes impossible to hold back. She turns away and retches violently. I walk over to the last surviving henchman. Big bro, no, please sir. Don't kill me, I surrender. Whatever you need, I'll do it. Just say the word. Please spare my life. It's a while before Julia, having brought up everything her stomach had, comes to stand before me with red-rimmed eyes, clearly wanting to say something but unable to find the words. Let's go. Home. I turn and head toward Building 5. Julia looks at the bodies on the ground, and the people Drake killed the day before, and something inside her grows firm. I have to survive. Whatever it takes. Drake's remaining crew is nowhere to be seen. We don't cross paths with them. The moment we get back, Julia stops dead. The dining table is covered with all kinds of seafood and beer, and a pot of rice sits steaming hot. The apartment is spotless, carrying a faint mix of tobacco and something lightly fragrant. Most importantly, it is wonderfully warm. Sophie sees me come in and steps forward immediately with a bow. Welcome home, master. Julia gets her first proper look at Sophie's face, and is struck speechless. She's beautiful. This is the new maid. Show her the rules. I don't want to see either of you slipping up. With that, I settle at the table and start eating. Yes, master. Sophie turns to look at Julia, and is just as struck. She's stunning. Her figure and presence are even better than mine. In an instant, Sophie feels a flash of alarm. She needs to establish her authority now, before this woman takes all of the master's favor. Follow me. Bathroom first. Clean yourself up. And with that, Sophie crawls toward the bathroom on her knees. Julia stands there, bewildered, and takes a couple of steps to follow. When Sophie stops and fixes her with a sharp look. Once you walk through that door, you became the master's maid. Maid code. Rule 1. No standing or walking without the master's permission. Julia is taken aback by the sheer force of Sophie's tone, and part of her wants to walk right back out the door. But the memory of what just happened, and the gun in my hand, brings her straight to her knees, mirroring Sophie exactly. I sit eating the mantis shrimp Sophie shelled for me earlier, nodding with quiet satisfaction. She's adapting fast, true to her elite background, impressive ability to adjust to a new role, worth commending. In the bathroom, Sophie carefully washes Julia. Neither of them says a word. Why is everything in this room? Don't ask questions you shouldn't. Keep respect for the master at all times, or you won't even know how. You died. Julia falls silent. She can't begin to imagine what Sophie has been through to become this way. Sophie studies Julia's figure, and the knot of unease in her chest tightens. Her hands, without meaning to, press a little harder. Do you think rescue will come for us eventually? Never say that again. Finding the master, that is our rescue. Don't you understand yet? Women like us, what do you think happens to us without him? Half an hour later, Julia follows Sophie out. I've just finished eating. I grab a whole lobster and drop it in front of Julia. Good work today. Julia stares at it, feeling a complicated mix of emotions. A hot lobster in the middle of the apocalypse. That's beyond luxury. I look at her and let a slow smile spread across my face. I glance at the system panel and nod with quiet satisfaction. Seems like a streamer isn't all beauty filters and camera angles. There's real substance there too. The situation across the complex keeps deteriorating. Every building now has its own floor boss. Violent gangs modeled after organized crime, each one locking down their building completely. The snow is so deep, it actually cushions falls. Jumping from a window won't kill you outright, but most people sink deep into the drifts, and either suffocate or slowly freeze. Screams and wails fill the air without end, grinding down every survivor's nerves. Meanwhile, Leo gathers more than a dozen men into a room. Besides the supplies, we've taken on over 20 people who can actually work. Next step, we move according to plan.